Welcome to Living Chassidus. Together, let's live the Chassidus we learn.
Hi everybody, welcome to Chassidus in the morning. 15 minutes to really change your life. Hachana for Yud Shvat, Maimer Bach Organi, the first Maimer the Rebbe, Yud Aleph. This Maimer, this share is for Refuah Shlema for Tinek Ben Chana. Have a complete Refuah Shlema. So, continuing on, discussing, we say Divrei Tachtonim, what does it mean by Tachtonim? So we understood what it means, Ikeshchina. We understood what it means, Kol Shivin Chavivin. And now we're discussing what does it mean by Tachtonim. And ultimately what we're proving, bringing down from different sources from all the Rebbeim, Divrei Tachtonim literally means our physical world and not any higher world. Because even the Tachton means lower, there's always ways to compare it. Comparing to what is lower? Comparing to Atzmos, everything is lower. So what does it mean? What does it mean? B'tachtein, this low world. What does it mean? So what we're proving is it means this physical world. That's essentially what we're going to be doing today. Doing today. In this book, it's page 52. We're in Ois Daled. We're in the middle of Ois Daled. Hopefully we'll finish it off today. So it said, yes, essentially what we're saying is it's either at any level, if you're talking about Atzilus, so there's basically the main point we're saying is like this. If you say the Tachas is Hashem wants to dwell in place below, and if we say below is Atzilus, so essentially we're stuck with two issues. One is that Atzilus is a descent. It's the way it works is that the descent is ilu v'alu, it's like a cause and effect, which means that it feels its lowness, and that can't be the purpose. To have this just a little bit low level of godliness revealed, that doesn't make sense. And the second issue is, and that's what we're going to talk about today, is the fact that ultimately, that specifically in our world, when we have that separation, that feeling of separateness is coming back because of the fact it's coming from God's essence. It's a little Kabbalistic, a little deep, but the point is, it's like, the way to understand learning this type of stuff is like discussing a car. So you can say, listen, Divrei Tachtonim means our physical world. It's simple. Why do you have to go and make it complicated? It's like a car. Why do you have to explain to me how the car works? Just give me a car. Just let me drive. But as you know, the experience of driving a car, knowing how the car runs, is an infinitely different experience than just driving a car that you push the accelerator and it goes and you put in some gas and you take it to the mechanic. When you put in the effort to understand these things, you start to become knowledgeable, and then the experience is a whole different experience. And so too with this. We don't have to learn this. You just say, tell me what to do, Divrei Tachtonim, okay, good. But here, what we're showing, what we're doing is making us become very knowledgeable in it, which will change the entire experience. Right, additionally, there brings another reason why it can't be say that Atzilus is Divrei Tachtonim. Shekev and Shezeu Rak Giluyim, being that Atzilus is only a Gilui. It doesn't make any sense to say the purpose of Atzmus and the person of revealing Atzmus is for a revelation, because the revelation is a lower level revelation. And you'd say, and so therefore, meaning like this. Therefore, you'd say, so using the train of thought, we have like this. You have Atzmus making Tal Shedish Tashlavus for Atzilus. We live in a physical world. That's just it's like a side point. The main point is Divrei Tachtonim, which is Atzilus. So you're saying that it doesn't make any sense. And therefore you'd say, so one second, why do we exist then? If not the whole purpose? We're saying, just to show that there's a world of Atzilus that it could have been us, but it's Atzilus. It doesn't make sense. The truth is Really what it is Olam Hazeh Tachtin. The whole thing is that it should be in this physical. Divrei Tachtenim is literal has to be in this physical world. Like the Mittler Rebbe writes, the Pashas Zu and Pashas B'Shalach, and he explains what's the difference between the outer worlds and the spiritual worlds and the higher world. The that in our world, in our world, he says a very interesting word. In our world, we feel we feel a separate existence. I am my creation. We don't feel that we're coming from God. And like it's brought down in the Hemshech of Rosh Hashanah of that year, the Rebbe saying, the difference between creation and light. What's the difference? The Raya al Hamar. When you see light, it means it must be a source of the light. Just like you see that it's sunny, so it must mean that there's a sun. So when you see the light, you know that there must be a source of that light. And that's how it works everywhere else. When it becomes to a created being like us, but we don't reveal creator. When you look at us, you don't say, oh, it must be creator. That's why most of the world doesn't believe there's a creator. That we conceal it, we cover it over. We're not able. Our existence makes it feel as if there is no other existence. When you have the higher worlds, which is the Gilui Helam, they're revealing. So what are we showing? We're revealing. It must be that there's a source. But in our world that we don't reveal, we feel separated. So it's totally, we don't even notice there's a God. And we not just that, we conceal it. We feel that we're our own separate entity. God, wait, my God, it's me. That's it. He's saying, but in brackets he says, but if you use your logic and you think, it must be that this doesn't work this way. Like it's like an example. I went to tell him, and this guy was telling me that his wife was watching National Geographic, the so to speak state of the food chain, starting from like a one cell to two cell, to a 2-cell creature eating the one cell, and then going up until like in the small animals, big animals, to the top of the food chain. And she was watching, and she said, "There must be creator. It doesn't like it just doesn't. This is too good to be true." So meaning, if you use your seichel, you use your intellect, you think about it, you'll come to the conclusion that logically it has to be a creator. But it's not that you look around and of course, look at this world, there must be creator. The world doesn't show that. And even though this feeling that we are separated from God and there's no existence, we can think to ourselves and foolishly think that there's no God, even though that's just how we feel, that's not the truth. We called Makim, nevertheless, the fact that we even feel this way and we can feel this way and we can see the world in this way and we can make this mistaken and thought. The reason why it is because our source is in Atzmos. It's such a funny contrast that it's because we come from such a high place, we can feel so distant. Whereas when you come from such a close place, like a Gilei Helam, so of course that the sunlight makes me realize that there's a sun and there's no other way. It's more revealed. I'm more revealed my connection, but I'm not revealing so much. Whereas in our world, the etzem is revealed, but I don't feel it at all. The nimt also comes out of this. So move on. So therefore, what comes out of this? The whole purpose and the intent of the Seder Shtalshalus ain't we're not talking about the higher worlds, that the whole purpose is just to reveal, like Atzilus, like the fact that there's a sunlight means there's a sun. That's not the purpose. The purpose is our physical low world. That on one hand we come from Etzem, we come from Atzmus, but on the other hand we don't feel ourselves, we feel ourselves totally separated. that we look at ourselves and we don't say to ourselves, if there's me, there must be a God. What do we say? There's just me. No, what God are we talking about? I can't see him. And we derive our existence from ourselves. And that's the mistaken identity. But that's what is the purpose, to be in this physical world, that we're coming from the Atzmos, from the Etzem. Like we said, Ikashchina is the Etzem, is before Seder Shtashus, before the first Tzimtzum, in this physical world specifically. And that's what we're sort of bringing out here. By the Avedas, by and through us, individually and collectively, doing our personal work, through having iskafiya, and through having the self-control and subduing the physical desires and making sure that we're doing the right thing and not just doing whatever we want, but questioning what we're doing and making sure it's the right thing and it's beneficial for us and for the world around us. And it's not just that, and transforming ourselves and taking things that could be negative and learning how to use them out for the positive. Through that, Nizgala ha'atzmos, we reveal the essence, which is a phenomenal, crazy idea. But b'shvilai, and for him, and for this Aveda Haya Bria, the whole creation of the world was all for this. And not just creation of our world, the whole creation in general was for this. Meaning, when we come and we sit there and we think to ourselves, who am I? What am I doing? What am I accomplishing? I'm a nobody. And I'm gonna have some iskafiya. You know what? Tonight I'm gonna go to bed on time. So I better wake up and I'll come to shir. I better wake up and I'll daven. I better say brachos. I better wash my hand in neglavas. And then you say to yourself, yeah, but come on, who am I fooling? The rest of the day is gonna be totally, back to normal programming. And I'm not gonna do anything good. Or I'm not gonna say a bracha when I eat something, or I'm gonna forget, or I'm not gonna do whatever it is. I'm not gonna learn anything. I'm not gonna speak nicely to people. I'm not gonna be nice to myself. And all the issues that we have, but it's irrelevant. Of course, it should be done, but it's irrelevant to the fact that every time that you have iskafiya and you have that self-control, you say, you know what? I'm not gonna do this. I'll tell you, I was learning this like a few weeks ago, and I was like, should get some cheesecake for learning. Like I spent a good hour. And I was laughing at myself, like the whole person morning is iskafiya, and I'm going to give myself cheesecake. But so I didn't. So having the iskafiya, that's the point. We have to realize when we have the iskafiya, when we do that, when we have that self-control, what we achieve is that the whole creation of all the worlds and all the Seder Shtashlis and all the Tzimtzumim and everything that Hashem has done in order to make this world that we are here feeling separated from God was all for that. And when you do that, you're fulfilling the purpose of creation, of not just purpose of your creation, but the purpose of the whole creation of everything. And we have to appreciate this, that like it's not just I'm doing the right thing, or I'm doing something a little bit good, whatever. It's the whole it's fulfilling everything. What we're in, like he says, in this Gala Ha'atzos, we're revealing the essence. And for this purpose, the world at large was created. And I want this whole purpose, the whole transformation, the whole Seder Shtashlis. And it's a phenomenal idea. And yeah, something to really think about and to meditate on and to appreciate, spend the time thinking, what does this mean? Like, this is a life-changing idea. And tomorrow we'll continue Eis Hey. Thank you very much for joining, everybody. Have a great day.